This week we find out one of the year's most anticipated titles gets delayed till 2013. The latest Hitman game has a release date and awesome pre-order bonus. Xbox 360 might be getting a web browser and more Dead Space rumors. I'm Handsome Tom and welcome to the Game Heroes Weekly News. Looking forward to the next chapter in the BioShock series? Well, it looks like you'll have to wait longer. Creative director Kevin has announced the release date from the upcoming Infinite has been pushed back from October to February 26 of 2013. When we announced the release date of BioShock Infinite in March, we felt good about the timing. Since then, we've uncovered opportunities to make Infinite into something even more extraordinary, said Kevin. Therefore, to give our talented team the time they needed to deliver the best Infinite possible, we've decided to move the game's release to February. The game's also, doing a media blackout so the team can keep working on polishing the game off. So if you're hoping to see Infinite at next month's E3, you're out of luck. While it sounds refreshing to hear the developer push back a much anticipated title to make it the best it can be, it still hasn't stopped the rumors from spreading. Some believe the game's being delayed to add multiplayer. Another big rumor floating around is the game's publisher Take-Two asked the game to be pushed back so it wouldn't be up against another huge title from the company, a title you might know as Grand Theft Auto 5, which is rumored for an October release date. Nothing is known for sure, so for the moment we'll trust Levine at his word and we'll have to wait till February for the next BioShock. We've been seeing a lot of information come out of the upcoming Hitman Absolution lately, but nothing about a release date. Well, that's changed this week as we find out we'll be seeing Agent 47's next adventure on November 20th. While we see another title, joining a very crowded fall release schedule, Square is adding a nice incentive for those who are pre-ordering the game. If you reserve an early copy of Absolution, you'll get a free access to the downloadable game Hitman Sniper Challenge, which has announced this past week. The Sniper Challenge is a one-mission score-based game which Agent 47 is taking out a mark and all his bodyguards as efficiently as possible. The more efficiently you eliminate the targets, the higher the score you'll get, which will be uploaded to the game's leaderboards. The players with the highest leaderboard scores in North America can win a trip for two to Copenhagen, Denmark to meet the Hitman development team. That's a pretty awesome pre-order incentive. Get a free game and a chance to win a trip to meet the developer. Good work, Square Enix. Hitman Sniper Challenge will be offered as pre-order bonus starting this Tuesday, May 15th for consoles that will be available and will be available on Steam August 1st. Reports say the Xbox 360 might be getting out of the Stone Ages and getting a web browser. Downside, it's pretty crappy. The reports say the 360 will be getting Windows Explorer, which will also have Kinect motion-based functionality, but it won't be a requirement to use the browser. No news on when we can expect the Explorer for Xbox, but don't be surprised if we find out at E3. We've been reporting on Dead Space 3 rumors for a few months now. Well, it seems they just keep coming. EA announced this past week we can expect a new Dead Space title in March 2013. No news on if this will be a third game in the series or another spin-off like Wii's Dead Space Extraction, but reports and rumors seem to be pointing towards the former. Latest reports state that Dead Space will be featured the first time in the series drop-in, drop-out co-op. The game will apparently still feature single-player mode, but the story will change if the player decides to play with a friend. So there's still a chance Dead Space 3 will keep an element of horror in its repertoire. I don't think gamers want to see the series follow up as, like Resident Evil 5, with that co-op killing any feeling of scariness that the series had left. And finally, here's this week's new game releases. It looks like Tuesday we'll be getting two of the biggest summer releases in one day. The long-awaited, much-anticipated Diablo 3 finally comes out on PC. After a decade since its last title, we see the return of Max Payne in Max Payne 3. It'll be available on 360 and PS3. The Game of Thrones RPG will be out on 360, PS3, and PC. The movie tie-in for the game Battleship will be available for pretty much every platform imaginable, not that anybody will actually buy it. And Test Drive Ferrari Racing Legends will be available on 360, PS3, and PC. For more kick-ass content, please be sure to check out thegameheroes.com. I'm Handsome Tom. We'll see you again next week.